Hello everyone, my name is Asteria, or Alicia. I do not use my legal name anymore for safety reasons, but I am using it for context here, as I did use my legal name when all of this started. I've scripted this video in order to ensure that I can make this video as clear and concise as I can. So if you see me looking away from the camera, that's why. To start out this video, I want to say this. My beliefs are going to differ from the community as a whole. And I think something that is important is being able to listen to one another and learn from each other's perspectives, even if perhaps it isn't aligned with yours and doesn't change the other's mind. I think it's helpful in understanding those who think differently than you and allows us to gain more knowledge about the world around us. Any religious beliefs expressed in this video apply to me, and I do not expect anyone else to follow the same system as me. I understand that some of the things I said really hurt people, and I understand that, and for that I am sorry. I originally chose not to share my beliefs because they do not change my interactions and my love for others. It was never my intention to be deceitful. I just didn't think it necessary to divulge personal beliefs to everyone because it doesn't change my interactions and my love for others. To start this segment, I plan on diving into the rumor about me saying that people by name were going to hell. This is not something I have ever said. The conversation that my ex-boyfriend and I were having that he recounted was a personal discussion about interpreting scripture and people who aren't Christians. It had nothing to do with someone's sexual orientation, nor did I ever say anyone's name and say that they were going to hell. My ex-boyfriend and I discussed the situation recently, and as we did, he admitted that his recounting of the situation was not entirely truthful. To be completely honest, he and I were discussing the idea of people who weren't Christians not going to heaven. But again, this was a personal discussion between me and someone who was my boyfriend at the time, and not something that I intended to share with everyone. It was a personal discussion of doctrine, and not meant to be something to proselytize or guilt anyone. Going off of this point, many people believe that I think people are going to hell for being gay, and I admit that a lot of the screenshots sent around would give that impression. And I fully understand that these are hurtful to others. These were all said 1.5 years ago, and I said a lot of them in haste without giving much thought to the impact of my words, so what was said came across in a way that I didn't intend. I believe in a certain level of morality in which that standard is set by 1, God, and 2, the Bible. I know that there are many who view and interpret scripture differently, and my beliefs apply to my life. I do not expect anyone to follow the same path I do, and I do not advertise my personal beliefs to others unless specifically asked about them. In the last segment of my discussion about my religious beliefs, I am going to address a smaller rumor that was circulating, and I'm unsure where it came from in the beginning. When all of this first began, a rumor began circulating that I was watching transphobic or homophobic videos in a hotel room with some people who I was friends with at the time. There is no proof whatsoever of this accusation, and I can firmly say that the only videos I watched in the hotel room were A, TikToks, and B, I think I was watching some anime, and C, videos that were me practicing for a performance that I had during the con. Any hearsay about this rumor is completely untrue, and I am unaware of how this even started. So that concludes what I have to say about my Christian beliefs, but now let's jump into my political views. I have talked with at least 3 different people since all of this happened about politics, and now I understand that I was misinformed. Because I was misinformed, I ended up making choices that hurt people, and I'm very sorry. I grew up in a household where politics was black and white to my parents. And yes, I listened to what my parents said, and I understand now that this is not what I should have done. I am more than willing to listen and learn about politics, and am doing my own research before the next election. I have listened to 2 people who have discussed politics with me in order to understand more of why people were upset. And I am actually discussing politics with someone right now who understands more than I do on the subject, who offered to explain some information to me. I will continue to do my best to keep an open mind and seek out more information in the future. I did vote for Trump. I know this is no news to people, as it is circulated quite far and wide at this point, despite the fact that the only person I ever directly told was my ex-boyfriend. And even making the decision, I was misinformed, which led me to vote for Trump. I did not agree with him on many topics at the time of my vote, and I fully regret my decision now. With this being said, I fully intend to continue my idol activities, as this is my passion and my dream. However, any kind of stalking, bullying, and harassment will not be tolerated, especially towards those who are not involved with the issue. I want to continue to grow and learn, and I hope that you will extend the grace necessary to do so. If you made it through this video, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.